record button for this?
Oh, my first
She's just like,
always
don't,
ready.
Don't even.
Don't worry about this.
What's up, everybody? It's Jonas,
And this is Jimmy, James.
and as you can see, who in the middle here. Like, see, the thing about Wanda is like Michael Jordan. One name basis. You don't have to say two names. Nobody knows Wanda's last. She don't even know her own last name.
That's a fact.
She just goes off Wanda or Miss Wanda.
That's it.
That's all you need to know. That's it.
You don't need nothing
That's
else.
it.
We here with Miss
That's it.
Wanda, and we let's parlay.
Now parlay.
Let's parlay. That's the name of it. That's why that's segue in. Let's parlay.
Oh, okay.
You see that?
I see.
Yeah,
Y'all creative and whatnot.
Little something.
So what's going on, Wanda? How you doing?
I am good. I mean, it's hot outside.
Yes, it is.
It's a day off for me, and I'm here, so that's a good thing. Because
Thank
normally I
you.
hide out on my day off.
You do. I hit you up, and I remember I hit you up. You said you was in Mexico.
Yeah.
How was that?
Mexico was amazing. That was kind of sort of like one of my first vacations in like 2 years.
Really?
I never really get like a chance to kind of relax. And it was my friend's bachelorette party, and everyone was like, "We're taking your phone. We want you to have some fun. You gotta do stuff."
Desordem.
Não te desordem, não se põe, não se danser, you know.
No, that's what's
You gotta rest. You gotta rest, Miss Wanda.
There
You
was no
everywhere.
rest.
There was no
There
rest.
was no rest in Mexico.
So you still tired?
I'm still tired.
Is that coffee?
That is coffee.
It's coffee.
I'm always drinking coffee. Like, if people know me, if I have a cup, 99.9% of the time it's coffee.
All right, coffee
No
up
sleep.
then.
So you in the club, just coffee and liquor?
Yo, seriously, you might think it's a joke. Seriously, I do. Like, I'll be in the club and everyone's drinking, and I'll sneak off, and I go to the bar, and I ask for coffee, and they always look at me like it's 10 o'clock. And they always hit me with the same lie, we don't have milk. I'm like, you guys have milk. I just saw you make a White Russian. You got milk.
What's a white rice?
A White Russian is, I don't know what it's made of because I don't really drink a lot, and I don't know, but I just know someone once upon a time ordered a White Russian
Introduced
for me,
you to it, yes.
and it tasted like coffee.
So you just said from that
So
point
I'm like, I
on.
love that.
They put liquor in
Yeah.
it?
You can, yeah. And like in Vegas, I've had that. I've had like, I think it was a White Russian with liquor, or there's drinks with coffee. I love coffee enough to, I find coffee.
Coffee's good. I like coffee with the good. You gotta have the right bread with the coffee.
So you Haitian.
No, you
with
Haitian.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
Haitian.
I don't
Yeah.
need no bread.
I need
You
bread with
squeeze
my
the whole
coffee.
boot in there?
Nah, man. Maybe. I
You
tear a little dip it in.
Do you
bring
do
it.
the peanut butter and the
No.
dip? Yeah, because
no,
that's
no.
extreme.
But I do love my bread with coffee. Cello, you agree with me, right?
No, no, I don't need no bread. Mbana ko say bread.
I got your Texas
Gotta-
Plus.
Gotta have bread with it.
No,
Gotta have
Mbana
bread
ko
with
say
it.
bread. No, that's my husband. Like I'm like, he's Haitian. Like he goes to Publix and buy like the big bag of bread if he can't find the Haitian bread.
Publix? He's
Publix.
how you can't be Haitian
Well,
and
here's the
going
thing.
to Publix
Where
for
we
bread.
live, you can't really find too many. So unless my mom goes to Miami or somewhere and purchase like the Haitian bread
Yeah.
for us, which he eat in 2 days
They keep it.
anyways, then he goes to Publix and he double up the bread and make it like, have a lot of it to make it thick.
Right.
And he just dip it in like a huge cup of coffee. I just think it's so disgusting.
It's amazing. Have you tried it?
I don't want to try it. It
You
looks
gotta
nasty.
try it,
'Cause
though.
bread shouldn't be wet.
Wait. You don't do the
No.
you don't do the coffee and bread?
No, bread should not be wet. Like, if you give me a sandwich and my bread is wet, like Subway, I can never eat at Subway because why is the bread wet?
Okay, well, what about like bouillon or like the New Year's soup?
That's different.
Jumbo?
Oh, I
No,
still don't
that's
put
not
No, I
different.
still don't put bread in that either.
You don't put bread in
No,
it?
You don't put bread in your jumbo?
I'm not wetting bread.
What about the chocolate in the
Nah,
bread?
No.
nah.
Oh.
Like the soggy bread situation just don't work for me.
She's like, no.
It
so
does
you
not
not
work.
bread dry.
So you only put peanut butter on one slice.
I don't eat peanut butter.
There it is.
That's probably where the problem started. That's where it started.
Wow. What do you?
Drop Haitian flags on CNN post because they ain't put the girl was Haitian.
They better.
Yo,
they
they-
better.
On CNN?
They better.
Oh, I know you don't play about
No,
that.
I'm like
Wanda
literally,
is- let me
I'm
tell you something.
trending right now
Wanda
on Twitter
is
over this whole thing.
everywhere.
Yes,
when you
Wanda's
look on a
everywhere.
post,
If somebody's
about
Haitian.
something like that, and I go and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get to this first. Wanda been there 15 minutes. Okay, I'm like, God damn, like Jesus Christ. That's on CNN, Instagram.
Yeah, look
I'm gonna
at
check
this
that out.
on Twitter right now. Look at my post.
You're trending on Twitter right now.
I'm trending. I'm trending
hate-
on the Naomi, Osaka, U.S. Open, and Serena.
But the thing is, like, you would think that they would stop doing that. They continue to just dismiss her whole Haitian heritage.
Why?
Like, it's
But
like,
the crazy thing about that, like, I've been watching the comments, and sometimes I really want to go in there and say things, but I've trained myself to stay out
stay
the
back?
comments, so I can remain professional. Because sometimes people just really just.
But do you think that's a thing nowadays?
What?
Do you think remaining professional is actually being professional now? Because people are so uptight, not even uptight, they're so open to say whatever. And it's not a big deal unless you're about the gays or the whatever. But opening your mouth nowadays is not such a big deal like it used to be.
I don't think it's about opening your mouth. I feel like everyone should feel like they can say how they feel in any given situation, but I do believe there's a way to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you do something that pissed me off, like naturally angry Wanda can possibly go off and say craziness in that moment and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I may not be able to take back or I can't erase, and you know that may affect you in a certain way. So I don't believe in operating like that, but I do believe in if I feel a certain way about something, I should probably take a step back, calm down, and probably rationalize it and
Before
then
you approach the
respond.
situation.
Yeah,
Got
because
you.
especially now with social media and even text messages and everything else, you can't take a lot of things you can't take
back.
back.
Yeah.
Even when you're sorry, you're not really sorry anymore
Yeah.
because the world or whoever have decided how they feel about what you said.
That's a good point.
and then you try to think, like, for example, people try to say, okay, just let it go, it'll pass over. Man, internet, they bring that stuff right
Yeah,
back.
and there's a lot of people waiting for that.
Yeah.
Like there's people waiting for you to make that mistake so they can use it,
yeah,
against,
use it against you.
And people sitting around, like, there's people that probably know you're like real, like you're out of work personality. That's like, no, like that person curse all the time. They go off on people. Let's set them up. Watch. They'll show you their true colors. Like people wait for stuff like that, you know. And me, I'm like. I got to hold back. I try to stay out the comments, and I'm like, let me just answer a few, and I let, like, you know, my assistant and other people go in there. Like even last night with the Naomi thing, like I've had people that was calling like, don't go in the comments.
I tried not to, but I had to tell somebody else something.
Yeah.
Because the girl got out of line and said we sucking dick, and by that she meant like we're overdoing the thing, and I wanted listen, I wanted to get up in there, but I put LOL God bless. That comment got so many likes because I didn't snap.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, the girl was mad that I called her the GOAT. I called the Naomi girl the GOAT. And I say that loosely. I understand that she's not the greatest of all time, but because she's Haitian, we're Haitian, we got a W at the highest stage. She's the GOAT, at least in Haitian world. And because I don't know any other Haitian tennis players at that level. So in my mind, she's the GOAT for speaking about Haitians.
Yeah.
And when that girl went to that level and said we sucking dicks,
I got a lot of that. Like y'all won't believe the kind of stuff I get. DMs
I'm
to
sure
me.
you
Like,
get it.
My DMs and the negativity like that I get from people sometimes for some of the stuff that we post. Like you guys won't believe.
No,
some of
my
the stuff
question
I
to
post
you,
people.
my question to you, and I probably know this answer, but are they majority Haitian people?
Well, they're Haitians following me, so.
Yeah.
But that's the thing,
I
though.
don't
you
understand
would
that.
suspect to yourself, why is it that it's your people
Yeah.
that's saying the most hurtful or saying the things that they are saying based on something that it's not that serious?
The thing is, it's not even the fact that it's not that serious. Of course, it's serious. It's look at the work that Miss Wanda does. She's uplifting. She's bringing awareness to certain situations.
Why
what
bash?
do you have?
Oh
to
no,
bash
they
on
find
that?
a million ways to make things negative. Like even what Jonas just said, like I got a lot of that. Like you guys are just overdoing it. Y'all no su moon and stuff like that. And a lot of times people don't understand a lot of backstories with stuff with me. And because I don't talk a lot, I don't really share a lot. People don't really get to know me a lot. So a lot of times people don't know certain things. Like for example, with Naomi, how I found out about her was, I don't even remember, something, she was playing somewhere, she was much younger then, and she did really well. And then and her name was Osaka, so it's like, it's not, how did you know she was Haitian?
Haitian,
Right. So I read somewhere in some way, some shape or form, like you guys know I'm always researching, I connected that she was Haitian. So I did my research and I found that out, and she was doing so good at that time. And her whole family was like tennis family, and she has a Haitian father. I'm like, oh, this is a great story. So I wrote about her. This was like, I think 2014. And when I did, her mother reached out to me.
Really?
Yeah, her mom. And a lot of times people don't realize like things like that happen.
So you have a backstory too.
Right. I
Right.
have backstories to some of these things.
Yeah.
So her mother reached out to me, and her mom goes, "Thank you so much for doing this, because like this is a part of us that doesn't normally get shared. Like people don't talk about the Haitian part or talk about this side of her family." And her mom gave me additional information about their family for
wow.
me to edit the post.
Oh, wow.
So we
great.
went back and forth, and I made sure like it, I wrote some of the correct things in. They sent me some pictures, and I was like, awesome. And so ever since then, I've been posting about her, not even knowing this girl would have gone this far.
It's not new to you, basically.
No, I
so
just started.
basically, people might think, oh, she's bandwagoning. Because,
Right. No, but I've been
you've
talking
on
about this girl since 2014 or
Yep.
15. Her sister also plays tennis.
Tennis, right,
They
I see
live in
that.
Boca. Like her mom, like even recently we were trying to get an interview with her mom, but she's touring because she has a new coach. So the mom kept on telling me, as soon as she gets back, I promise you, Wanda, like when she was in mine, she's like, I'm going to try to get you an interview, so on and so on. So for me, it wasn't even like, oh, now she's on this big stage. Now I'm showing love to her. No, I've been showing love to this young girl with this dream since.
Right.
And she's always been proud of her Haitian heritage and everything
Clearly.
else. But Japan is the team that she signed to. Japan pays all her
We
bills.
know why, because of the
Japan-
financial stability
right.
with Japan.
This,
right.
this
Like,
this
it's a
is
smarter
where-
move to go that way.
I don't even. It wasn't even that it was a smarter move, because her mom explained it, and because like she didn't give me permission to put all of that out, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't that it was a smarter move. It was just the move. Like
The
she
move
was
that was
playing.
made.
That was the move that was made, and she went to Japan because she was born there. She
Mm-hmm.
was able to. She can play for them
Speaking
and
of-
represent them.
Speaking financially wise, do you think that going to honestly, if you had to pick, do you not agree that if it was in terms of financial, I think that's a give. Do you think going with Japan was the better move? Because in terms of Haiti, there's so much turmoil and so much this and that. Do you think that had she went with Haiti, she would be this big?
I think for me, I'm a big Let's Go Haiti fan. Like, that's obvious. But a lot of times I feel like soon as people attach that Haiti or Haitian, not attached, I don't want to say attached, but soon as people, you
Apply,
identify them
Right.
as Haitian, we start putting all these things on their back and putting all these
That they gotta carry.
that we put too much on them, how we feel like they should do what they do and whatever. And you don't know people personal situations, you don't
Right.
know people business situations, financial situations, what's going on within their family. We don't know these things. So I don't feel like it's ever for us to make a decision on how people should do what they're doing, especially when we weren't really rocking with them
In the jump,
10
yeah.
years ago when
Before.
this girl was
Right.
like just swinging her little tennis
Right.
thing. Were we there?
We weren't.
We weren't. So I feel like you don't know what happened to people, and a lot of times we try to say, was this right or that right? No, these people did what they had to do for themselves at the time that made sense for them. Who am I now to come in just because I found out she's half Haitian,
right.
and I'm attaching all these flags to her post now to say, well, you owe me this, you owe me that. No, you do what you have to do for you.
For you.
And all I'm going to respect you for is what she's been doing. The fact that even though you represent Japan, you're doing all these things, you've never forgotten that you're
That
still
you're
Haitian.
Haitian, yeah.
You make sure these people mention that, not even to mention, but they remember that, no, my dad is here. My dad is half Haitian. He helped trains me. I grew up in a Haitian home. And I feel like that already is enough. I'm not about to tell you focus all your energy now and like doing that. No, continue growing and doing what you're doing and being a great athlete, because that's what you're supposed to be focusing on.
A lot of
Right.
people don't see it your way.
I know, and that's why, a lot of times I get bashed and whatnot, but
And the reason why people know you, of course, is because of L'Union Suite.
Lignon chéri,
I-
mon
look,
pas
well,
chéri.
yeah, listen.
Lignon,
They
roll it
already-
off the tongue.
They
roll
know
it.
Jonah is the absolute most. I am as Haitian American as it get. I'm more Yank than I am Haitian, but that's neither here nor
They're
there.
even
not
say
going to
Zoe.
accept that. Yeah, but
Can't
accept
say
that,
zo-
no?
There's certain words that we can't say. Just can't say.
You identify as the #1 Haitian American platform. Haitian news, the country, the people, the culture. You got your Facebook, your Twitter is
Come on.
Yeah, mais c'est pas qu'à parler.
L'Union Suite.
There it is. It took a while, but he got there.
You gotta figure out the tongue.
And of course you do ads and all that for people who want, and your email is l'unionsuite@gmail.com, nice and simple. And you recently did a lovely sarcasm is heavy here, lovely interview with MJ or Mama Junior,
I was
or
like,
people
MJ, Michael
people
Jordan?
call
Oh.
Junior, people call Success, whatever they want to call him. And I actually watched it.
Thank you for tuning in.
was a very good
I
interview.
started watching the live.
Yeah.
But then when I seen that the questions were slightly generic based on what we're always asked like, how'd you get the name? I was like, don't tell me it's gonna be another one of these. So then I stopped watching it, right? The next morning I woke up and I went and I seen your post of the split, and it was like highlights. And I read, of course I'm sure you see my comment. I read and it said something that really, hey, what's that? It said that, and I quote, he was kicked out of Haitian American production. Now, you wouldn't be doing your job had you not digging that. I'm sure that was a really good, juicy part that you wanted to get to.
Not really, because if it was, I would have kept on.
Sure.
If you watched the interview,
it was a good 2 minutes, maybe two and a half minutes.
I asked the question and we moved on.
It wasn't. You moved on after he finished, but he kept on. So here's the thing with that. Because I told you, I let you know that I was going to bring it up. James is a part of HAP. He's the founder, as am I, and it doesn't really mold to James. It really molds to me. Whenever Mr. Junior presents the equation, it's always to Jonas, not to James. There's no hard blood with James. It's always with Jonas. So, with that being said, the situation at hand, when he stated he got kicked out, just to clear the air, he never got kicked out, quote unquote. Now, where I was a little not offended, but a little bothered was that he even approached it the way he did. When we get asked that question about what happened to you guys, for people who are outside of the inner circle, which most of this circle is in here right now, you don't need to know. It happened. It's not something like it needs to be put out to the world because people have to know. It's not that serious for you to have to know. It's something we say, you know what, we respect his craft, we respect what he's doing what he's doing, we're doing what we're doing, God bless. We always shun it over. Like, it's no bad blood. It's just we moved on. We never get into full detail, or at least most detail. For when he got into somewhat of detail and said he got kicked out, that's when I got a little bothered because, one, if you are going to open your mouth, at least state the facts. And that wasn't a fact. That was more, it's, and I'm not going to bring it into what it was coming down to. Me and Success, when we met in 2014, we got really cool really fast. We were really, I'm talking about, when you meet someone, boyfriend, girlfriend, you're texting all night, you're calling.
Y'all in love.
Me and Success had a good romance. I'm talking about, we was on the phone talking about everything, 2 o'clock in the morning, legs kicking in the air, all that weird stuff. But fast forward to where we got into Riff Raft, where Success has a very similar, persona as myself. And it's when you have an idea, you always think your idea is the best, most of the time. And you don't want anyone to impose on your idea. You think your idea is the best. If you have an idea, that's cool, but we're going to do mine. We came to blows. That's how we both thought. We think that way. We both are very ego dominant. So we knew that was a problem. James knew it was. Plus knew it was. I knew it was. And supposedly Success knew it was. So we came together. We had a meeting. And we talked about it. But the thing was, James said what he had to say. He said, hey, you guys have this issue. It's based on YouTube. Plus said, hey, it's based on YouTube. You guys get your shit together. But I let them know. I said, you know what? You're right. I have this kind of this issue where I feel as if whatever I say goes and my idea works the best. And I say, you know what? You're right. Let me fix that.
You're a control freak. Got it.
I put control freak and kind of a perfectionist where I feel like I've done so much analyzing to that idea where I think that's the only way. But I grew. I went to Atlanta. I took some time off in Atlanta. I said, you know what? I'm wrong. So in that meeting, I agreed. I said, I'm wrong. Let's go ahead and fix that. I agreed. I understood. When it was Mr. Success's turn to speak, unfortunately, he didn't say anything was wrong. So he was kind of shunned to the point that nothing was wrong on his end. When it was, because everyone pointed out that it was between us two. Going forward, it got to the point where something happened. Again, I'm not going to go into the term because it's not everyone's place to know the total details, but it got to a point where, yes, October, he did say October, it was last October, where something happened. He found an opportunity to leave. Again, I ain't gonna go into detail about that opportunity, but he found his opportunity to leave and he took it. Okay, it was more or less a mutual, all right, you did that, so that means we do this split. We ain't kick him out. He left. He decided to let me do this, and I'm gonna go, and that's what happened. And as time went, people started to realize you guys ain't doing videos. You guys not that. You guys not this.
So annoying.
It was annoying.
Guys, it was
That
kinda
was
obvious. It was
people
kinda
started to say more and more, and he also used the word jealousy. I would never in my life be jealous of something that we helped create. Mama Junior is a character we helped create. It came along with Bertha. It came along with Prophet. It came along with Pasta. That's something we all came together and said, yo, we need these characters. So we all came and said, let's do that. That's not to see that growth in that character is so great. I even went to a show. You see me there.
Yeah.
If I was jealous of somebody, if I had that bad blood with somebody, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets to that point, then it gets to that point. But it never got to that point for me with him. So I was like, I'm going to go support him and go to the show and see it. And it was a great show.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And for him to go and say that, it was just like, I felt like I think he thinks it's more than what it is. I don't see you like that. I don't see bad blood. I don't see there was jealousy. I just think that we just couldn't come to an understanding. We were bumping heads too much, and you went your way, and I supported your idea, your decision. You do that, and you grow as a man. You do your own thing. I spoke with Cello earlier. Me and Cello had a situation, but me and Cello have respect for each other. Is why we can sit in the room together right now. Me and Cello, every time we see each other, we have 100% respect for each other. And Cello never opened his mouth and said A, B, C, and D. Again, it was between us. It was between the family. And we spoke to each other, and that was it. We never went out and said A, B, C, D to anybody. So for him to do that again and provide incorrect information was a little bothersome to me. But again, I only wish him the best. All I say, like I said on my Instagram post, was keep the same energy when you see me. That's all I say, and that's my message.
So you guys, this is something that you guys really can't sit, talk, let go, move forward. I mean,
Cello swings his dreads for a reason.
I mean,
Cello's doing this for a reason.
Wants to leave,
Look at Cello's not doing that for no reason.
I just feel like exactly what I said during my interview is how I still feel. And that's why even when I did ask the question, it wasn't a situation of let's create drama.
No. And I know that wasn't your intention.
Yeah, I could have.
You were just doing your thing.
Right, I
You're
could
very
have
good at.
asked other questions. I could have done things to, make it,
Yeah.
But that wasn't the intention. It's like, of course, people want to know what happened. Of course, it would be crazy
gotta
for
do
me
your
to
job at
not
the end of
ask
the
the
day.
question.
Right.
Everyone was already asking it in the comments as well. And with his response, he said what he had to say. Now you're saying what what you have to say. But I still feel like at the end of the day, like you guys just said, like in this business and what we do, like there's a lot of people that have issues with each other all the time. Like it's business, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
hard not to walk around here and not have situations with people. But I feel like at the end of the day, I don't see anything that's like that serious to where you guys can't fix it and
We
you
in the
guys
same
can't
boat.
talk about it. But I mean, he feels the way he feels. You talking about keep the same energy.
To
It's
the
almost
point-
like let's not make this something bigger than it
To the
needs
point
to
you
be.
make, and James can attest, and again, everyone in this room can attest, we've attempted what you just said. I sit down. As you can see, my energy levels, I'm good with that. You have to have two parties to say okay to make something happen. One party said okay.
But you
which
think
is,
he's like I didn't get from him that it's like heavy.
that's the thing. Well, then, just Cello's now on this side for a reason. Again, that was a message. That was him saying this has been tried before.
Oh,
it's
okay.
been
I
going-
just
it's
like
been
I
a
just
lingering-
didn't
It's
get
been-
that from him, and even like how like same I can speak to you guys. Like y'all know me. Like I just never got like it was like negative energy. Like it was deep. Because if I felt like it was really drama filled, I probably would have stayed away from it. But it just didn't appear to be that. It just like okay, well something happened. You're
really-
not happy. He's not happy.
But as a human, as a man, I love success like a brother. He met my son. He's been in my home. He's met my mother, my father. Like we've done things together that I cannot say on this mic as so close as we are brothers. But again, brothers fight. I fought with James, literally. I fought with Kenzie. I fought with Plus and Cello, which
That's
they're
the
all
business,
still in the
the reality, and it's
But
gonna continue
That's
happening.
the thing, though. When I always understand is, I'm wrong. Okay, cool. But when there's two parties that are wrong, the other party needs to understand that as well. You can't throw it all on one party and say it was not any of my fault. It was all that fault.
Obviously, there's a disconnect there. I'm a strong believer if there's a conversation and one person still feels some one way or the other, there's a disconnect there, and I feel like that's something that you guys definitely, should do behind the scenes. I feel like you've already done a good job keeping this thing separated.
Yeah.
He said what he had to say.
Right. And
you know,
like I
he
said,
got a
I
chance
still-
to speak. He said it. He said
I
what he had to
still-
say.
I still
You're not
got-
happy about it. I get it. And now you're saying your piece. But even with that, I feel like this isn't something you guys should continue
I got
to
so
make
much love for success,
public
man.
issue. You know?
I got so much
because
love. I
people
got
are
so
going
much,
to ride on
I
that.
got so much love for success. I do. It's just again that impasse we've came to apparently just can't be resolved.
I don't think so. I don't believe that. Because I know you guys a little bit, and I feel like I know him enough in his personality. I don't think that. I feel like one thing, even for me as a creator myself, like sometimes people don't understand this about me, and my assistant will tell you because sometimes she's had to sit me down.
Mm-hmm.
When you create something like what we've created and what he's created, whatever, this stuff is your baby. Like
Yeah.
you legit feel like this is your baby.
Passion.
You legit feel you're passionate about it. Like you take it personal.
Right.
Like it's one of those situations to where and then you give up your 9 to 5s and you do all these things
Right.
for this baby. Sometimes it's hard to see other people point and everything else because you're looking at what I've sacrificed and everything else, and people tell you how they feel about certain things or how you should move and how you should do things. Sometimes it don't resonate. It doesn't connect like it should.
Yeah.
Because that's your baby. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I feel like that could be what it is. You know, like you have your baby, he has his, and you're both, you know, but I don't think it's something. I don't think it's that deep to where it
See,
just could
again,
never.
I promise you, I wish I can get into the details.
No, I don't want you to.
The thing is, and it shouldn't have to get that, but it's just to get to the point where the information he provided wasn't 100% correct. It was deeper than that. So what he provided to the world where he said jealousy and he said the words I kicked out, it wasn't that. And I can guarantee you, I'm not here to prove this, prove that.
Yeah.
But again, and that's why I say I got love for the kid. Because we grew a relationship, a big one. And James can tell you that was my guy. It was my guy. It's just it got to the point where something happened. And again, I still have the energy where I can sit down and talk to Success. I can sit down and talk to Seth, but Seth has to want to sit down and talk to me. And that's the impasse that we have. So, again, the interview you had, it was what it was. I still do wish him all the best. I went to his show. I'm here to support everything that he does.
Yeah.
And, again, I still love the kid, but, you know, we got to that point. So, you know, there's that.
And shout out to that interview, girl.
It was good. It was good. You good at what you do.
So I'm like Jonas talking about he had to log off because I was asking the same question. So people don't realize people don't know success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a lot
When
about
I-
him that day. Like
Well-
I remember I recently just found out his real name was Success, and I was like, really? And I knew a lot of people didn't know. And I normally test stuff on like my assistant, my family, and I'm like, did you guys know? And they're like, no. So a lot of people don't really know him that well. So it's like, yeah, I had to start off with the generic stuff.
See,
But-
the thing is, we've been me, Success,
like, you
James,
live
but
with the
we-
man, like,
right?
y'all family.
We've been so many interviews where that same question was asked. I was like, there's another one. But again, you surprised me when I went back and I seen those highlights. And we sat and watched it, and I was like, it was a good interview.
Thank
It
you,
was a
thank
good
you,
interview.
thank you.
Just waiting for our.
Listen, we just bought back like I said, I just bought that back because the thing is, I used to do it on Facebook, and a lot, and this is crazy. Like even today when I came in here, I saw you set up. You heard what I said to you.
Yeah.
What people don't realize, even with us and a lot of things that I do, a lot of people think like I have this team of 100. Like I have this.
It does
It
look
feels
like
like
that.
I have
mean,
like a
you-
team of
you're
100, right?
everywhere.
It
You're
feels like
everywhere.
I don't, and that's the crazy thing. I don't, and a lot of things I still do on my own. A lot of things like if I'm not doing it on my own, I'm in the process of probably training someone how to do it, or I'm still doing a majority of the work. So there's a lot of things I wish I could do, and I could do more. You bring people, like I get this thing of people want to be part of the team. A lot of people want to be part of the team,
But this is words, right?
and then they come on board and they didn't realize how much work it is because I make it look so easy or whatever they tell me. They say I make it look clean, fancy, and easy. But what I do is not easy, and it's a lot of work, and it's not sleeping, and it's a lot of research.
You
And
can't
I'm
sleep.
really
Shout out to
particular. Okay.
Yep.
I'm really particular about how I do things. So even from my brand and how I present things, and even how we write captions is a big deal for me. You know, so like people come on board and they realize, wow, this is not something I could just come on and just be cool and chill. No, like it's serious. Like I understand that this platform now has become like a huge representation of who we are. You know, like I said, the country, people, and
248,000
culture.
on Facebook.
You know, so it's like
Wow.
I can't just treat it like something I can just throw things up. You can't just throw things up.
You have
like
you got. Let me tell you, when I look at the post from Lunya Sweets, you got that whole CNN vibe. Like you know
Yes,
when
you do.
you know
Yes,
when
you
someone
do.
shares something and it shows that right there, like this little thing. I'm like, how do you even? And that Lunya Sweet right there. I'm like, wow, it's a
No,
real.
it's
I will
official.
see people retweet or share that post, and I'm like, yo, I remember when it was just a picture in the share to
Yeah.
this.
It's getting to the
Yeah.
point where like something will come on CNN, but you still go to Lunya Sweet just to
to
make
verify.
sure.
Like you used to go to CNN to see if somebody dead. I go to Lunya Sweet. Who died? Who died? It
And
was
you
like,
see, and even though those things is like what make it so important for me, and I want to do things the right way, and I would love to have a team of 120 or whatever. Hell, I'll take a team of 20 right now if I could, just to get some of this stuff done.
y'all hear that?
But-
Email. You put your
yeah.
email out. You tell people you
People will email. Listen, people email. People come on, like say they want to do things, and then when they get on board, it's like it's not all
What they
fun
expected.
and pretty,
They
and it's
thought
a
it was
lot
just-
of not sleeping.
So
and
how
it's a
do
lot-
you go about your business though? Because like you're everywhere,
Yeah.
literally everywhere. So like there's no sleep, like
There's
you
a
said,
lot of
a lot of coffee.
sacrificing. Yeah, there's a lot of sacrificing. There's a lot of my family not seeing me. There's a lot of my poor husband just dealing with me being gone.
You are married.
Yeah, I'm married. I've been
Y'all
married.
hear that? No more questions about little mama. She's single. Y'all leave that alone.
They don't care. I post my husband and people still DM me.
Girl.
They don't care.
You know these niggas
No,
are savages.
they don't.
man.
I didn't
Okay.
realize. Like, it's funny y'all say that. Like the other day, I'm on the phone with X, like X that does Lux media
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm on the phone with X, and I'm coming home. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm talking to him, and I stop at the gas station to get gas, and he's in my ear, in my headphones, and this guy's waving. So I'm like, okay,
What do you want?
you're right. What do you want? It's 11 o'clock. I'm already nervous. Like, what's up?
Right.
And he comes over, and I was like, do I know you? He's like, oh, no, I'm trying to get to know you. I go,
Oh,
oh.
God.
I was like, oh, no, baby, I'm on the phone with my husband right now. So Lux is in my ear, X is in my ear laughing. And I was like, no, I'm talking to my husband right now. He goes, oh, well, you better tell your husband he got competition.
Oh,
So let me tell you what he does.
Random ass
So
niggas.
he starts whispering. He take his phone out anyways. And he starts whispering. He goes, put your phone, put your phone. And I'm like, I just said I'm married. You don't. He's
Niggas
like,
don't
So
care.
he starts shushing me. He's like, shh, 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 shh.
Oh.
And I'm like, really? This is what you guys are doing out here?
Whoa,
We don't-
whoa,
We
whoa,
don't
you
respect
guys.
marriage. No, I'm not you guys, but
I'm
I mean,
joking, I'm
literally,
joking.
like, the man was still standing there whispering to me, like, be quiet, girl. Put your number in here so your husband don't hear, you know?
That happened.
Yeah, so, I mean, for me, I sacrifice a lot. I barely have a personal life.
How does your husband feel about you being gone so much? I hear a lot of people who have the relationship where the wife or the husband, or relationships where one or the other travels so much and don't get that time and all
Yeah,
that.
like my
How
relationship
is-
did not.
Yeah, James was in a relationship
Yeah.
where he was
Said
always.
That's what I said.
And
That's what past tense. Past tense. Okay.
TASSTTZ.
Wait.
So how does that work in your relationship, or excuse me, your marriage, where you're gone so much? Girl, twiddle that ring. Where she's like, look at that. How does that work where you're gone so much? And what, like, does your husband get? I'm sure he gets bothered.
He
Hey,
does.
stay
He does.
home for this weekend.
When I first started this whole thing, like I always tell people, this was a passion project. I had no intentions of making this my career. It was just something I did for fun, and I was using to learn and connect with Haitians and find more
Right.
people like me. So I didn't know this is what it was going to be. But my husband has always been like an advocate for me being more Haitian, if that makes sense.
Is he Asian?
He's Haitian.
Okay.
He's Haitian American, but according to him, he's 100% Haitian. Don't add an American part to him. He's one of those Haitians. So
Okay.
even when we met and he was like, you don't speak Creole. What kind of Haitian doesn't speak Creole? So he was part of me learning how to speak Creole. He was an advocate for me to
You
go
ain't
to
speak
Haiti.
none? You had to
I
just
was
get you by
bad.
Creole?
I was the
No way.
I
Yeah,
that
was
Christian John
bad.
Creole.
No, that Chris.
Yeah, she had that
Now,
Christian
I was
John.
even when I said things, it was so bad, like people would laugh at you bad, and it would make me like mad, insecure, and I didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
Like
bad?
people used to laugh at me, and
But
I used to be so in my feelings.
That's,
Like,
even us now, like we hear somebody saying something funny, you know, in Creole that just doesn't sound right. We're
it's
going
not
to laugh.
funny,
It's
guys.
funny.
It's
It's
not
funny.
funny.
It's
It
funny.
really
Bon,
makes
point-
people
yo,
insecure.
Timon point yo parler créole.
It's funny. It's
Timon
funny.
point yo parler créole. Au point yo pas parler
It's funny.
créole. Why
But mom
not?
doing bagay. Mais samedi, I always tell people, I take it back to my mom. I said, this is a parent situation.
That's true.
100%
Because
agree.
even
true.
now with everything I'm doing, this had nothing to do with my parents. Me going to Haiti, me traveling and doing all this stuff. And even now my parents still be like, oh, you sure this is what you want to do?
Very true.
You know, so it's like,
Very
it's a
correct.
lot to do with our parents. So this new generation, we got to change how we deal with our parents and we deal with our kids.
You find that such a common conversation we have with each other, that parents this, parents that, parents this, and it's only because that the parents are the older generation from Haiti. When you try to do something outside of what they see successful, they don't want they don't want you to do that.
They like my mom was okay with us just going to school. Like I was a straight A geek. Like my mom was cool with that. She was like, go to school, do what you have to do. She wasn't bothered. So my husband met me and he went to her. He was like, how is it that your kids don't speak Creole? Now she's offended. So I'm just like, come on, you parle Creole. No, mommy, they don't. You know, so he was like, listen, he was like, for the next year, I'm gonna need y'all not to speak English to her. Like, I'm going to speak Creole to her. Y'all, none of the family, y'all don't speak English to her. And that helped me a lot. Like, people really just stop. Even when I'd be mad, I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. Like, I'm trying to get something done. Like, and he would be looking at me like, I used to get so mad. But I thank him for it.
So your husband's the Haitian Superman. He came to save the day.
He had a lot to do with a lot of this stuff. And even me quitting my 9 to 5 and doing
Shout out to Miss Wanda's husband.
He's
Mr. Wanda. Shout out, Mr. Wanda.
No, I'm telling you, this man has figured it out to the point where even me myself, I tell him all the time, I say if the tables would turn and you were gone as much as I'm gone, I wouldn't be able to stay with
Couldn't
you.
do it.
I don't know how he does it, but he's figured out a way to do it to where he's still supportive. When I'm gone, he's in my ear most of the time. We're FaceTiming. Like, you know how I'm married. Y'all know how these things are. I get nervous sometimes and I be like, I wonder if he's like, wait, you really home? Like, you a little too happy? You a little too okay?
Right.
Like, you a little too okay?
Location.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you a little okay about me being gone.
Like, why are you so happy that I'm going to Mexico,
what's the situation? Wait, you don't care that I'm going a week? So I used to really
it can work both ways then. It can kind of feel like, now that you're leaving, you could feel like maybe why.
He says that because I'm in hotels and everything
and he could probably feel like, why you going over there? But
but he really is not. And like most of the time when I'm gone, he's with my family. He's with my mom. I'm not there. So, of course, my mom's cooking for him when I'm gone. And he checks in.
You guys have a high trust for each other.
We've had to. Like, you really have to. And you, like, even when people put things in your head or try to put things in your head.
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Yeah, I've had people call my mom, my family, because I don't post them a lot. So people are always asking, am I still married? Where's her husband? Like, they'll call my mom would be like, s'il vous plaît,
I've never seen him.
Evans,
You keep
he got a good Haitian name. He got a good Haitian name.
You keep your personal life separate from.
No, that's mine. My personal life, like on my personal page, I do a little bit of it, but I feel like I give so much of myself to everybody all the time, whether I'm online or not. Because even like when I'm offline, like people don't realize I have mentees, I have people that I mentor. Like I got people in Haiti that I work with. I actually have clients. Like from this Lineal Suite and this Wanda. Like I still have clients and people that I work with, that I do marketing for, that I do a lot of different things for. So I have like all these different variables of who I am. But my personal life, my husband, my mom, my sister, that's mine. Like
you
for
keep
me,
it to yourself.
that's mine. I give people those snippets of it, but that's mine. Like when I'm off, I'm off. Like you can't find me off.
That's a good way to have it.
Keeps your sanity.
I'm trying to be like that, to be off when you're off, but just sometimes you can't. You gotta reach.
Nah, you gotta learn how to be off. Like and the thing about you guys too, though, like what you do is about like making people happy and all these other things. Like the idea of people being negative towards you guys is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
But for me, I get like people don't get this. I get a lot of negativity. I get just as much negativity than I get positivity. That's because
they feel like you're choosing sides.
It's not even about choosing sides.
They don't see you as providing information. They say there's a side being chosen. I don't agree.
It's not even it.
What is it?
It's more as a lot of people either feeling like I never talk about this stuff. Y'all make me talk about stuff.
Come on, we can open up, baby. We here. Let's parlay.
A lot of people I feel like I don't deserve some of the accolades or things that I get, even though I still don't feel like it's really that big out there for me. Like I'm not out here at the Grammys getting awards.
Right.
So I get things with that, I get things with people now. When this didn't exist, y'all weren't on it, but now that it exists, people want to tell you how to do what you do. I get a lot of people feeling like because I do what I am, I should be the voice for a lot of things. So I'll give you guys an example. The other day when the protests happened in Haiti and everything else, there was a lot of people bombarding us about, oh, you guys are always posting this, but why you ain't posting the protest? Why y'all ain't posting what's going on in Haiti? And what people don't realize is there is, I know what I'm doing, whether you guys believe it or not, and I have a reason for how I do things. I didn't come into this to be a celebrity or do this and this and that. That's not the direction my branding was going. I really have a message to what I'm trying to do. So for me, like even my sister like, I think we should at least. And I'm like, no, Martino, we're not. I'm like, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, I'm not posting anything about the protest because here's a few reasons why. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know why there's a protest. I don't know why these fields are burning. I haven't been keeping up with politics. Why would I report on something I myself don't understand? So if you're the messenger and you don't get it, what message are you about to put out here to the public, right? So I'm like, I don't get it. I need to get educated on this. So I started calling Haiti. I remember I heard Marriott was burning. I called the manager Marriott. What's going on over there? She's like, oh, no, love, it's not burning. They're just burning tires in front of it. So you're getting all these messages and people are telling you
the
things.
Wrong information
right.
out there.
I could have been, here I am. I'm about to be part of the problem than part of the resolution, but you're telling people you want to be part of the resolution.
Right.
If you want to be part of the resolution, you have to be careful on how you do things. It got to matter to you how you do things. You can't react on emotion.
True.
You can't just react. So for me, it was more important for me to understand what's going on. Call Jacqueline Charles. Can you please give me a full background story on what's going on? Call Samuel, that's in Haiti. Call Mati. Call these different people. Get in these group chats and ask people, please tell me what's going on. Why is this happening? So I tell myself, if I don't know what's happening, don't get it, that means y'all don't, right? If you follow me, I'm not posting, I don't get it, y'all may not get it either.
Right.
So I'm like, the first thing I need to do is education first. Let me educate people on what's going on so you get it, so then you can form an opinion based on knowledge and what's happening, right? So I didn't feel like I needed to post the burning and everything else because it was already everywhere. Y'all don't need to come to me to see that. You know what's happening.
Right. You don't need my outlet. That's everywhere.
It's everywhere. You know what's happening. It's all in your WhatsApps. You're seeing the videos. Why do I need to post the videos too just to like confirm it's happening? So I mentioned it's happening. And I felt like, let me get some real people. So I had Jacqueline Charles do the interview. I talked to Sam. We did the live interview with Sam that was actually down there stuck in his house, you know, with no food for 2 days.
Wow.
And, like, this is the things that people want to know. Like, this is the information you provide. Why are you, an influencer in this in Haiti, stuck in your house for 2 days? And what's the real story? So he was able to provide background on what happened. Like, where were you when you found out that the gas price is going up and you got that story? So once people understand more of that, it was like, oh, crap. Okay, well, yeah. So then I'm looking at it, like one thing about, I always find it funny that everybody want to tell me how to do things, but I never go out my way telling people how to do things. I respect how people do whatever they feel like they need to do.
Right.
If I feel like it's something that may hurt you, I'll reach out and say, hey, listen, based on my experience, maybe this is not the right move.
Right.
But if you do it anyways, that's on you.
That's on you.
Right?
You knew that somebody told you.
So people are telling us how we should do things and how we're not this, and they're DMing us talking about y'all ain't that, whatever. So then I look now 2-3 days later, right? The protest is over. Now the Shade Room, Parle Alert, all these other pages are only posting the protests and the fires and everything else. Now you got all these people in the comments like, F Haiti. You see what I'm talking about? All they do is da-da. Now you got all these uninformed people and these large platforms that you guys wanted them to know what's going on in Haiti so bad. You went out your way to make sure they knew what's going on. Now they take the information,
and
they
ridicule.
share it incorrectly, and they add to the narrative of making us look ridiculous, right? Now people, man, moi haïtien fâché, tout haïtien fâché. They in the Shade Room comments, people tagging me. That's incorrect. Go to Union Street to find out the real story. And I'm sitting there like, 2 days ago, y'all thought it was so important that every single one of us share these burning tires. Now you see how that may not have been the best thing. Like I'm not saying don't do it.
No, you have a big point.
Do it.
That's exact. You
can't share nothing about Haiti without people coming and trying to say this, that, the other.
They're always gonna make us look worse than we are anyways. So I am not about to add to that narrative without making it make sense.
Right.
Why do you think it's such a target though? Why do you think Haiti or Haitians or anything about that is such a target? Because no matter where it's put, you got a negative Nancy in there somewhere, and a lot of them. Yeah. Why?
I think it has a lot to do with what the media has already
persuaded in people's head, or how they perceive, how they see.
Like, no matter what we feel about ourselves or what we do behind the scenes, the big stages, the bright cameras, and the headlines, they already made a decision a long time ago about how they were gonna tell stories about us. And because back then there wasn't a Linear Suite and all these other pages, there wasn't you guys, there wasn't a lot of people doing what we're doing, how we're doing it, there was positive stories out there online because I had to find them when I started Lenient Street. So it's not like they didn't exist.
Right.
But how they were being shared so much and everything else, it wasn't like that. So these people weren't finding the positive stories. So it's like if the negative stuff is what CNN cared about, because that's how it works, right? The large platform says this is what's happening. Or the little one go, really? That's what's happening? Oh, I need to write this story. This is going to give me hits. This is a click. Let's click.
Clickbait.
We need clicks. We need this. And so that's how it works. So if we're not responsible for making sure that we have all these great stories and we're trying to change the SEOs on Google and making sure when you Google Haiti, it's not all negative and all these other. If we're not doing that, they're going to continue to just feel that way. I've literally when things happen, the crazy thing is I'll write 100 positive stories. I don't get no one calls me. When there's protests and stuff, I get CNN calls.
People on your
I get
inbox.
calls from CNN. I get NBC. I get these large people that reach out to me that want this and that, or can
Never
I
knew
connect
that.
them to this? Can you give me someone?
Never knew that.
I don't. Yeah, I get those. Like
Never knew that.
a majority of these large platforms, they will when they really need something, they're going to do their research. So if you're coming up a lot or they see my platform, I've had them reach out to me. Can you come speak? Can you do this? Can you it's about education. When I first started doing this stuff, I didn't understand the internet. I didn't go to school for this part of that part. But
What did you go to school for?
I went to school for my mom sent me to school to be a lawyer.
Of course.
Yeah, so the first
she was very not
year,
happy when you came.
I
and did all
definitely
this.
called and said, I don't want to do this. I want to change. And she said, are you nuts? No way. I said, pas un problème. I walked back in school, and I was too young. So I went to school when I was 16. I went to Cookman.
Okay.
I went to Bethune-Cookman.
Whoa, you was really a geek out here in these
I was a
streets.
geek,
Damn,
man. I was a geek,
16
man.
years old.
I was 16 and on a serious curfew. Like, they never had like a 16-year-old on their campus. So I already had a curfew, but mine was like stricter. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even leave campus without them calling my mom.
Wow.
So I didn't have any I'm not 18. I can't sign nothing. I can't do nothing. Wow. So first thing I'm like, Mommy, I don't want to do this. I'm going to go change my major. And she goes, oh, fool, no way. Oh, this is about to be a forged situation.
Listen, Haitian signatures are a little easier to forge.
Because they do it when you see them sign it, they're signing it so
I
Sign
was
them
like,
all
I-
names since sixth grade.
And then I
dog.
had to make it look real too because I was young. So I told him I was going to change my major, and the guy goes, well, your mom have to come up here and sign these papers. I was like, oh, my mom's not going to come. I'm going home this weekend. So, and then I couldn't leave campus without them giving me approval.
Right.
So I had to call my mom and tell her I'm actually going to spend the night at a friend's house. Can I stay there the weekend? She approved it. So I got clearance. So they think I went home. Signed my papers, came back, changed my major to mass comm, and my parents didn't find out that I was a mass comm major graduate until graduation.
There are people who are going to look at this and be like, boom, I have my key out. I am going to, I have it.
They found out
They
at
didn't
your
find out.
graduation.
Nope. I had to do an extra year in school because I changed my major and I had to take additional classes. So my mom was like, Mom, ko no tap graduate and this. I'm like, no, Mommy. Like, I added a few more classes.
She thought she had a lawyer on her
Yeah,
hands.
she
dog.
thought she about to get her. You think I'm getting ready to do my? I remember when I had to take my exam to graduate. She's like, so I'm like, oh, I'm taking the exam for to get into law school. And
Oh,
she
no.
said, there will be some love avocat.
Oh my God.
Graduation comes.
You was a savage before savage. You was a thing.
I've never been one of those people that you can't stop me from doing something I want to do.
You-
like,
so
if
you-
I
but
know
you
what
knew.
I want to do,
But did you think it out? Like, did you
I didn't
say-
have to think it out.
No,
What
I'm
I
saying-
did think out is the fact that this is what I learned my first semester in college.
What's that?
My mom dropped me off. I'm 16 years old. I had no friends. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was 16 years old. All the kids, all the guys calling me jailbait. None of the guys
They
want to
want-
talk to
they
me.
want to mess
They
with
calling
you.
me jailbait. All the girls are treating me like, low kid. And I was like, oh, okay. I really felt like I got dropped in the world on my own, and I had to figure it out. And the thing about like Haitian parents, like when you're like me and you're like really smart and you know what you're doing, they let you control a lot. They let you do a lot.
Yeah, because they
So
trust you.
they trust you. So even going to school, like my mom wanted me. So I ran track. So I was supposed to go to
Nigga, you
UF.
was just a brand new person. You ran track.
You was a
Yeah,
jack
I ran
star.
track.
What did you run?
I was really good.
You ran
too.
the 100?
No,
you
no,
was
I
long
was long
distance.
distance. You know, I'm
Clearly,
smart.
you
You know,
was
Yeah,
you know
boy.
this side. You know,
400
no.
across country.
Yeah, I was
You-
exactly
Cross
cross
country.
country,
Yeah.
800, 4x4, and I was really
Jesus.
good. Like I was in the newspaper all the time, like in Sun Sentinel. Like I was actually good. And
This
so,
is brand new to me.
yeah. So I was supposed to go to school to run track, and I was supposed to go to UF because all of our state matches used to be at UF.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with UF. My mom wanted me there, and then when I was getting ready to go, all my friends was going to Cookman. And I was like, I didn't really want to go somewhere I didn't know
You didn't
people.
know
They
nobody.
said they was going to go to, and not all my friends, like a few guys I knew. And I was like, I want to at least go places I know guys. or no people, right? So I said, I'm going to go to Cookman. And my mom was like, Ki Cookman, samba kone l'école sa. Because, you know, like, then it wasn't a university then, it was a college.
Yeah.
So she's like, collège, mais ça son grand school, mais l'autre l'école, il y a university. Pourquoi ça c'est collège?
Yeah.
So I had to explain that.
difference.
And so my mom was been like, I don't know what's happening. So I go home, like I go off for the weekend, I change my major. Graduation comes, they're calling the pre-law kids. You know how they do it in order? No team. Like, I'm sitting in my seat knowing I'm in trouble. I'm like, I'm in so much trouble. And I just sat there. So then they did mass comm. And then, like, they called. My parents didn't even, like, scream or what, nothing when I got up because they got confused. Like,
They was like, whoa.
They were lost.
Yeah,
Like,
they were like,
she's
one.
in. She's in. Everybody's supposed to
Did they know anybody that you were, like, maybe somebody that
no,
you had
my
a class
mom let
with?
me do everything.
So she
my
didn't even-
mom
She had,
didn't
there was
even,
no friend
Like
that
a
knew your
classmate?
mom
No,
out-
they did, but my mom, like, see, the thing about me, I was a bad, good kid. I was one of those kids, I didn't lie. I never lied to my mom. Like, I learned early, I was like, when I lie, I get beatings, right? I would get a whooping for lying. So I realized, oh, look, this is all. I just get a whooping, I swell up for a little bit, and then this is it, then I'm going to tell the truth. So I'm going to get a whooping anyways.
Regardless.
5 minutes is over. I'm done, and I don't have to try to remember what I said. So early on, I was like, so my mom knew I was a kid. I didn't lie. I was always a leader. I did good. I was the captain of the track team. I was, like, well-known at my school. I was considered, like, a really good kid. So she didn't think there was nothing to worry about. If I said I was doing something, that's what I was doing. She just knew I was going to make her proud. Like, I grew up in one of those families where everybody in my family said I wasn't going to be anything. Like, I literally had uncles tell me, by the time you're 20, you're going to have 5 kids.
Oh, shit.
Like, I wasn't one of those overly motivated kids. Like, people were like, family was more, my mom was it. Like, the rest of my family just did not see nothing in me. Like, they just did not believe in me, no nothing. So I always tried to make sure, like, I made my mom look good. That was the
Right.
thing. So that was that day that I made my mom look bad.
Oh.
I made my mom look crazy. My dad was there, uncles,
Did she
tutu,
cry?
yabi.
Did she cry in anger?
She was confused and didn't understand what was happening. And then she didn't even remember me ever even mentioning mass comm. I was changing my major. So, you know, after graduation, you go to dinner. So, I had a whole party and everything else. People came into town, and, like, I had so many family in town. And I had to sit there and I had to explain to Dan. And then it was like this weird thing of people just, like, not happy. And I remember her, and she told me, she was like, this, you're not going to ever make any real money. And then my dad told me, he was like, my dad said, this is what you want to do. She's like, you're going to go out here, you're just going to be a reporter, parler dans télévision, mon ça va faire aucun l'argent. He said, just so you know, he's like, just so you know, no matter what happened to you, you don't have a home to come back to. I said, all right, no problem. I told him, okay, thanks. And I said to myself, I said, never in my life am I ever going to be in a situation. Like, mind you, I'm 20 going on 21. No, I was about to turn 21. And I was like, no way I am ever going to ever ask my parents for nothing or have to go back home. I figured it out. I was like, I'm going to figure it out. And the crazy thing, you know, Haitian parents, they make threats.
Yeah. But
And then think you're not for real.
Yeah.
So when I graduated, I had to come home, and I had interviews for jobs. Like I was supposed to work for BET. I had all these things that I had already set up for myself.
Yeah.
And I had to go home, right? School's over. So my mom's like, Kilo vini, ou nou anje cham lan pou, you know, kilo vini, ou l'école fini. I'm like, I ain't coming back
I
to
ain't
y'all.
coming back, my dude.
Y'all told me.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I
I was out. I called my brother. I was 21 then. My brother's, I think it's 18. He was 18. So I called my brother. I said, listen, I'm going to get my own place. I need you to help me. You got to move in with me because I can't pay all the bills. And he was like, you crazy. Mommy going to go crazy. We going to move out together. I'm like, we going to move out. I'm not coming back to their house. And lo and behold, I ended up finding, like, I found a 2-bedroom apartment for $700. Brand new complex that had just opened up.
That's cheap.
Exactly.
Prices was different.
Where you
That was no, it wasn't different. It wasn't different.
In?
For some reason, I feel like I'm one of these kids that's, like, madly blessed. Whenever I want to do something, God just make things happen for me. Everywhere I went, it was like $900, $1,000. I went to this place and I was talking to the lady and I told her my situation. And she's like, you know what? She's like, we were running a special a month ago. You didn't get to do it. She's like, I'm gonna let you have the special price. I said, what? Oh, wait a minute. That's it. Me and my brother moved in. My brother, and a bunch of my friends took a U-Haul, and we went to Daytona. My mom thought I was moving back home. Like, she's waiting. Kote nou, nou Palm Beach deja, nou presque rive. Yeah, we presque rive.
We on the way.
We on the way, all right.
Yeah.
So we get back. I moved all of my stuff, into my new apartment and me and my brother moved in, I called my mom. I was like, oh, by the way, parents cut me off for like almost a year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like a year. They didn't talk to me.
What do they say to you now?
Now I'm the family's pride and joy.
We was talking about that earlier with
I'm
Jello.
the family's pride and joy. My dad is like, the other day I was in OCOP. So my dad don't really know and understand what I do because we don't really have a real close relationship, but he's around. So
Shout out to OCOP.
yeah, so he's from
an
OCOP
OCOPper.
family. Oh, you okay?
Shout out
Look,
to OCOP,
look
shout
at you.
out to
Look
OCOP.
at you. Got
got
a
it
big
from
bond
me.
now.
Oh,
Big, big,
Family
big.
bond.
Family. This family.
But nah, so your dad.
Yeah, so I go. So I went there, and me and my friend Maritza from New York was doing this event thing. Maritza opened a store. We had a panel discussion. This whole thing that was going on, and he was already there. So he called and he was like, oh, no, actually, someone from Port-au-Prince called him. And he goes, "Kiss up fair cup, man, when Port-au-Prince get limbs because I on a flyer, Now you know how they go, they take props for your work.
Yeah.
He's like, they called me to tell me thank you and oh, you're welcome, sir, I guess. So he's like, oh, kiss up fair. So I told him about it. He's like, what day you coming in? He was already there. He go down every year for Feto Cup. He's like, what day you coming down? So I didn't want him there. Like, we don't have that type of relationship. So I was like, it's this day. Yeah, if you want to come.
Yeah.
This man went all out of his way to make sure he really did come. So I'm at this event and I'm speaking and there's all these people there. There's all these ministers and everything else. And him seeing me at work, seeing, what I'm doing. And he was just like, and then we found out the president was there, had come in. And I remember somebody said the president's. I was like, oh crap, let me call such and such and find out where the president's at so we can go. So then they, he told me where they were going to be. He was like, come out, we're going to be at this place. And then I was like, oh, we're going to go to the thing where the president's at. But before we went to have lunch at Lakai. So one of the main people that worked for the president, he was coming. I was like, where's Lakai? So he comes in, I'm introducing him to my dad. Like, I know the owners of, the places down there. So I'm introducing him to all these people. And he's just like, oh my God, like,
This is
his town. He grew up here. This is where you're from. This is where you've never bought me here. I know nothing about this place because of you. There's never been any connection, and now here I am
Introducing you to the big faces and people that
to
he
the
probably would never meet in his
That
life.
was the turning point. That's when he was like.
I could see him. So we made him stay with us the whole night. We went party to party, and we went to block parties. He would not go home. I was like, you sure you don't want to go home?
Your dad a real one.
He did not. It was 2:00 in the morning. We on the block. He on the stage dancing, and I'm like, Daddy, go home. I was like, "What can do
I
me?"
have to get loose.
I'm
dude.
like,
Go
no,
here.
he didn't mind. Like, we were having fun and he was
Wow.
having fun. And mind you, like I said, I'm not close to this man, so I'd never seen that. We have never had that.
You think that was your most bonding moment with your father?
I still haven't connected that yet because it was just one of those things that was like, did this really just happen with me and my dad?
Right.
And it was like weird. Like, he was really with us and he's dancing on the stage and everything. So I get back here, my mom called me the day I land and she goes, Papa, te rele mo kon sa papa Ozi? He said, yo, me papa rele mi zim kon sa. Ouais, si Wanda, ça c'est le piti, oui. Mais ça sont forcés, oui. And he didn't say that to me now. He called my mom and told my mom. And my mom goes, she was on the phone with him like, welcome to the party, but we've been telling you. And he was just like, so I just look at it like, I didn't know this was going to be what I do, and neither did my family, and this is not something they exposed me to. This is not something that was ever written out for me. So that's more of the reason why I take what I do so serious, because I realized this wasn't something that I crafted on my own. I really feel like this was supposed to be, God set this up, and I'm just a vessel. And I feel like when you're a vessel for something, you don't take it as yours. It's not yours. It's something that you're being used for to do. So that's why I try not to get in a place where I'm like egotistical or I'm just like not, it's about me and what I want and what I'm trying to do. And no, that's not the situation. Like, God had put you in this place to do whatever you're supposed to do for this community. And even though I still 100% don't figure it out, I have a lot of respect for it and a lot of love for it. And I just make sure, like, when I do it to the best, of my ability.
So what's next for Wanda as we wrap this? So what's exactly? It's almost the end of 2018. I'm sure you got some 2019 set up.
I'm sure she do. Always.
What do you got in the pipeline that we can look forward to, or at least what you are gonna get started on?
I have never, and I don't ever announce and tell people what I'm doing.
See,
Never.
that's his motto.
Yeah,
love
I
that.
do
He lives by that.
everything behind the scenes. I just tell people the goal is to always continue advancing, continue keeping, trying to get us on, like Naomi last night on the grand stage.
Yeah.
Like making sure that people, whether they want to or not, they recognize us. They making sure like I make the community proud, I make the country proud, and I continue to open up doors and create opportunities for Haitian Americans. Like that's always the plan, that's the goal. And whatever else I come up with, I feel like that makes sense and I involve people and I bring in, I just keep it to myself until I'm ready to say, okay, this is what I'm doing.
That's dope.
There you have it, people.
That's
We just took a nice long parlay with my girl Wanda, and she let that was amazing. Like you probably said more here in this interview than you probably, at least deep wise, personal than anywhere else. And that's what we about here. Let's parlay.
I like this. I like
So
this.
we're gonna have to
I
parlay
like
again
this.
soon. All right.
I'm here, I'm here. I'm here.
Down the street.
I'm down the street,
All right, baby. That's parlay. We out.
Hit the record button for me.
Hey, it's James and Jonas. Click and subscribe so you can earn free good on the Sunday Smells.